Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Real Talk, Ask Steph, where I will be dedicating another segment to answering anonymous questions as unbiased and honestly as possible. While you're here, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and join the conversation, because in a social media driven world, real talk still exists. How many times do you let your friend go down a path of pain, hurt, and depression before you remove yourself? That's a good question. I think one of the key things to keep in mind is we've all been in situations in which we probably knew we shouldn't be in, but it's hard to get out. It's a lot easier when you're on the outside looking in. And there are many reasons why people stay in situations that cause them pain, hurt, depression, and what we see is just the surface. So as a friend, if you are truly a friend, I would say keep in mind you're not a boss, or you can't control that situation, but your role is to be a friend throughout that situation, and feed into your friend what's missing. So that's positivity. That's exposing them to life outside of that situation. Because again, when you're in that situation, I guarantee your friend knows, your friend probably wants out. She probably just doesn't know how, because she's been in that situation for so long. So as your friend, don't remove yourself at all. Don't remove yourself, but continue to feed into her positive energy, positive affirmations, getting her outside of that situation. So whether it's a girls' night here, a girls' night there, just so she can see something other than, and with time, I can guarantee you that she will eventually start to build herself up again to the point where she actually understands, or she sees, or knows what she needs to do to get out of that situation. When are you going to let me take you on a date? I've been indirectly flirting with you for years. Never. I don't know who you are. How will you know if a guy is really interested in you? And what is true love even supposed to feel like? Q, can you come on up for me, please? I'm going to put you on the spot really quickly. All right, so how would a woman know if a guy is interested in her?
Essentially, if he's doing the little things, that might be giving up his time, giving up his money, but the things that he really cares about, if he's giving up on those, then you can kind of tell. And then if you don't have sex with him and he's still doing that, then a lot of times that's the way you can tell.
Right, so, okay, so let's really quickly, I want to talk about, because you mentioned the sex. We're going to go back to the important things too. But you know the 90-day rule?
Yes.
So what happens, like, is that worth a woman testing in the process of her trying to figure out if a guy is interested?
Yes.
It is?
Sorry guys, but yeah. I mean, we all know.
Real talk.
If it's 3 months and, she's not having sex with you and you're still interested, then 3 months is all the time if you really like somebody or not, whether you have sex with them or not.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not, then at that point you kind of know if it's going to go somewhere or not.
Okay, and the sex is just the added bonus.
Yes.
All right, awesome. So back to what you initially said, with if a guy puts aside, not completely give up on these things, but if he puts aside, he finds time to put forth the effort, then the woman should know he's interested.
Yes.
Okay, ladies, so if he's putting forth the effort, do not discredit him, because effort may look different though to a woman than a man, because we think differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a man can be like, oh, I sent her a good morning text, like I woke up a little earlier to send her a text, and she's still complaining about me not texting her throughout the day, or whatever the case may be. What do you say? Do you think there is a difference, or what should women note?
I mean, for every man it is going to be different,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, you can tell if he's going out of his way, and he might get a little aggravated and irritated, and that's how you can tell, like, okay, he's doing something extra that he doesn't do for everyone.
Wale has a line about that. A woman, something about, so yeah. All right, so ladies, if he's putting forth the effort, he's doing the little things, give that man his credit, because they aren't really they not paying attention to us a lot if sex not related. So that's how you know. Thank you, Q. All right, awesome too. So what does true love supposed to feel like? True love is something so real, so pure. When you feel it, you'll know. It'll be different than anything else you've ever experienced. And with true love, it won't be forced. You won't second guess it. And it comes naturally. You don't have to manipulate you. You don't have to manipulate the other person involved. You don't have to lie to. You don't have to give up on yourself and invest completely into this person to feel it. So don't do those things thinking that it's true love. A lot of us, we prematurely claim true love, and then we're oftentimes put ourselves in situations in which are unhealthy for love, and it's not necessarily love. So when it's true love, you'll know. Thank you.
2, 1, go
All
ahead.
right. I've had a friend for 13 years, and through the years, we've dated, played with each other's feelings, been in love, talked through relationships, and everything in between. Over the weekend, her attitude totally changed for me. And one person in particular was around her that knows me, the aforementioned lady and my ex-girlfriend. So she is the only one that could have put that much emotion into my friend's fire. My question is, how much do I put into getting that friend back into my life? All right, so I kind of talked about or touched on this subject last week, and I'm going to go more in depth based on this particular situation. So yes, I totally believe two people who were once in love can definitely be friends later on in life. But to get to that point, both parties have to be 100% honest with their feelings for each other. Now, in this situation, without knowing too much about it, it seems as though you guys aren't in alignment with your feelings and your emotions. And something could have happened that triggered that person to the point where that person may feel as though they may still feel connected with you. Now, in any relationship, there is a common goal. Two people are working towards the same thing. That's in a business relationship, that's in a friendship, that's in a relationship. You're both working towards the same thing. In situations such as the one I just mentioned, we get confused when you guys stop working towards the same thing. So one person is working towards a friendship, the other person may be still holding on to the possibilities of that relationship. And because you guys aren't working towards the same thing, that can cause a bunch of confusion. It can cause mistrust. It can cause conflict, as you can see based on what was mentioned. And just given the history. We play with each other's feelings. We've been in love before. We've been around each other. It seems as though that situation itself has went through a lot of uncertainties that neither one of you may not know where you completely stand in each other's life, because you guys have been playing with each other's feelings. Why is today different? I think communication is the gateway to understanding, and I think that you guys should really have honest communication with each other and just peel back all the layers and get down to the core of, one, why are you guys even friends? Why you guys should continue to be friends, and where do you guys stand internally, mentally, emotionally with each other. Another thing I want to mention is that should you hold on or should you put forth a lot of effort into this friendship? Only you know the answer to that. What does that person bring to you that you'll be missing if they're no longer around? And two, it sucks because I do believe that people can be friends after heartbreak. But two, some people's chapters are over in our lives. And sometimes we have to move on and move forward with our lives without certain people. That doesn't mean you hate them. That doesn't mean you dislike them. Just means that's our lives are taking us in two different directions, and that's okay too. You can leave that situation with a clean slate, with cool emotions, no bad feelings. Life is just taking you both in two different paths. And again, you won't know this unless you're being honest with yourself. That person is being honest with themselves, and you guys can be honest with each other. Thank you all for tuning in to Real Talk. Ask Steph. I really enjoyed you all. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. You can still submit questions for our next episode. But for right now, make sure you subscribe, you like, you share, you comment, join the conversation. It's time that we start to be honest and real with ourselves and each other. So until next time, remember, in a social media driven world, real talk does exist.